And I also blame Pitbull for that one. Yeah, so, yeah, anyways, how are you guys doing? Um, yeah, happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day for those celebrating Father's Day who are a dad or who have or, yeah, or if you just want to celebrate for whatever reason. Yeah, regardless of it, then, yeah, happy Father's Day. Also, we are in the 3-minute ad break, which is perfect. Oh yeah, chat's double because yeah, so like I don't know, the last couple instances of OBS, like literally always breaks, but as soon as like I start another instance, the old like it always breaks, and I always end up having to make like a new chat overlay to fix it. But eventually at some point the old one ends up getting fixed, so you know, therefore putting us back, creating this situation where everything's doubled. So yeah, curse script. Yeah, we are very well. It is a cursed scripture, but that's also because we are a very cursed. We are a very cursed community, or at least some of our members are very cursed. I don't know, but in any case, yeah, happy Sunday. I woke up relatively okay. I mean, okay, for being honest, I'm still kind of dealing with some very minor migraines, but I think that should probably be over and done with, and hopefully before the end of the day. It took some Tylenol, so I think we're good. Um, I, 20, well, 22, 21. I keep saying 21 or 22 shots. I mean, it's not. I say it's nothing to sneeze at. David keeps undermining how much I drank, but it's still very. It's still. I still consider it very significantly successful. I mean, I don't know. David keeps underlining. I don't think he wants to admit that I outdrank him yesterday in yesterday's stream, and yeah, I don't know. I think he needs to accept the fact that I still even if regardless if it's 21 shots, if it's 22 shots, if it's only 15, that I still outdrank him regardless. So, but yeah, by showing him the picture of the bottle like that, which is pretty much this bottle that I'm holding, like it was basically like midway down, but it's it's like nearly done, but yeah, and he still kind of undersold the idea that I was kind of under measuring like how many shots. I don't know. He keeps saying I only drank like 15 shots, but it's like still, you know, consulting a Brit on alcohol consumption is a losing game for your liver. Yeah, yeah, which makes it. But on the plus side, out drinking is still very it's still satisfying regardless. Anyways, welcome back from ad break. And why are you guys giving me uppies? I will never understand. Is you guys know this game. We don't accept uppies. They are is a very forbidden gesture in this household. A very highly recommend against you giving the long cat uppies. But it is what it is with that. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. Current agenda. I don't know really much. I don't know. It wasn't really all that. This whole stream really isn't all that planned. I just kind of figured. I kind of felt for it, like doing it because I don't know. I think it's a little bit. I think honestly, if we're being honest, I think I would rather do this today than actually do other stuff like edit clips. If we're being honest. You do recommend giving okay. I feel like I bring this up from time to time, and let me adjust the music just a little bit. Let me lower that down. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't really point out the distinction between me not liking being given uppies and me not liking uppies in general. I don't like being given uppies. I always would tell people, if you are so insistent on giving uppies, you might as well give them to people that actually want uppies. And David is someone that looks like he desperately needs uppies. So because being he's no long cat, but he comes relatively close. He's got the cat made outfit. He's sort of, I guess he's kind of hairy if the model's anything to go by. And yeah, you know, you should. I want to give Dave uppies, and Dave wants to give you. We're not giving each other uppies at the same time, and also David's probably more likely to accept it than I will. So I don't know. Y'all can give him uppies. I would rather just sit here, ponder what sit back, relax, ponder what to do with the remaining 1/16 of the bottle that I have, and ponder about other stuff in my life. So typical me things. So. But yeah, other than that, give them. You're not giving me both. You're not giving. Listen, Wacky. You need to really stop this. You need to stop this notion once and for all. Because one, just because you are regularly being given uppies by necessity due to the fact that you are a brain, and someone has to pick you up, that doesn't mean that everybody wants it. That's never been a thing. That never will be a thing. People should accept this fact. And also, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. In case I haven't said hi to anybody else earlier, how are you guys doing? Guy, Ginger, Zen? How y'all been? But yeah. So I don't know. Anyways, I kind of. If we're being honest, I was initially kind of planning this whole stream. I was kind of partially gonna vent a little bit on life, but I gave it another couple hours, and maybe maybe just like one shot, because if we're being honest, one shot is all I could really do for today. I have to go to work and later today, but yeah, a few hours and one shot later, I think I'm good for the most part. Hopefully I'm good. So yeah, less grumpy long cat rant and more vibing out, having a good time. Long cat feeling today. So you know how it is. But yeah. But yeah, other than that, it just be what it be. I kind of was gonna say, I was gonna say, I think as much as I hate to admit it, I think creatively, I've been kind of feeling a bit slightly on the burnout side, if we're being real, like a bit of a creative burnout. And I think the most prominent thing was like the last couple days where, rather than actually kind of putting effort to try to put out like more clips for like a few other people, I kind of spent like the last 2 days playing Car Mechanic Simulator for like the last 2 days, and I think that's how I kind of figured out. Something's up, and I kind of need to make some sort of change. It happens, do something new. I mean, the issue is that I think, I don't know. I mean, it used to kind of be that the mentality used to kind of be like that. Like if something had happened, I would just kind of switch it up a bit, figure out what to do, how to kind of reapproach things. Try to take a reapproach on certain things, and come back to it. But I think, I don't know, this year, I mean. And with clips, it used to kind of not be as big of a deal, but it always feels like it kind of is. Even though deep down, a lot of it is just kind of self-imposed. Because I think for the most part, I feel like most of the people. I mean, it doesn't really, like, they're not expecting anything out of me. But if I'm able to kind of put out a clip, then people will be satisfied. Or at least the people that are looking forward to seeing some of their favorite VTubers, they will, they'll be looking forward to it, regardless of when it comes out. And I think that's usually how most viewers kind of take the approach. But I always kind of find myself thinking. I don't know. For me, I always kind of find myself feeling pressuring myself into thinking that I need to kind of put something out. Otherwise, um, otherwise it's like I don't know. It feels like I'm kind of self inflicting that on myself, if we're being honest, or inflicting that type of mentality on myself. Like I don't know. But it has been kind of. But I think the combination of that and like just just not being as like and like the aforementioned stuff I was saying like before, where I was just like mostly playing games and streaming rather than just like actually doing editing work. And I think I don't know. I think I kind of just came to a conclusion that I'm just kind of slightly burnt out, or if not slightly, but probably just flat out burnt out. Um, and while I am while I could always do something new, I don't know. I think half of the identity, half if not like nearly all of my identity, basically kind of just comes from the fact because most people kind of know me as like as the VTuber Clipper, as the one that kind of makes like a good chunk of like clips for like a few notable VTubers, and I always kind of feel like I need to kind of put like kind of have to put upon myself to kind of put something out. And I think when the motivation's like purely on that and not because like you just want to, then I think that kind of pushes like drives you to kind of burn out a little faster. So I've been kind of feeling like so yeah, the last couple of days it feels like it's kind of like it kind of definitely felt like that. So and I don't know. So that's kind of. I guess that's also to kind of explain why I haven't really been able to like put out as much stuff this week. So it just feels like I've been kind of out of it, been slightly burned out. So he jiggles. Hey, how are you doing? Ice cream 729. How are you doing? 729. Nice number, by the way. Yes, this whole model jiggles. I am not doing that manually. It's basically an autopilot model. Basically, it just does this it does this in by its own will. So, but yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing, Ice Cream? Welcome in. It's okay to take a break if that's needed. Yeah, I mean, I yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I always try to push myself to like make sure I'm putting everything out consistently. And it's like, I don't know. It's just been, yeah. It's okay. It's just part of the process. Yeah. It's also probably why I'm sort of glad I'm not as. Maybe I'm just underselling myself. Like, I know people say I'm pretty prominent, but I think nowadays, like, but I don't think I'm as prominent. But I think that's also not as a bad thing because I kind of it does give me a little bit of leeway of like not reduce the expectations and whatnot. So if any of that makes sense. So yes, I am long because I am a long cat. I am a gray. I'm a gray long cat that unfortunately is. Despite what chat tells you, I do not love uppies. They push themselves in this ridiculous narrative that I like to be given uppies. And I think half of the issue is because of the fact that I'm a long cat and they want to see how long the cat be. And that's not. But here's the thing: you don't just pick up random cats and expect to not get reprimanded for it. You can't you can't always do that. He's just Sundari. If he likes uppies, why is uppy shit? Because look, sometimes I don't know what to tell you, Zen. Sometimes we aren't given we're not how do I say this? We're not created into this world with the buys or sometimes the buys given to us we can't always choose. But sometimes we roll with it. And yes, I definitely did not come in with the intention of being a long cat, but I am a long cat, so therefore I live with it, and it's okay. But that being said, I don't like uppies. And chat, unfortunately, will continue this never-ending ridiculousness until the end of time. And yeah, so I have to live with that. But yes, yeah, yeah. But yeah, this long cat is currently. I'm not a tsundere. That's not tsundere behavior. I'm just trying to reiterate the fact that that's not the case. A tsundere implies that they secretly like what they claim that they don't like. It's not. That's not the case. Have you not? Okay, so really, yeah, yeah. If you stick around, if you ever find yourself sticking around here long enough, you'll realize this has been a never-ending. This has been a never-ending war since the very beginning when I showed up with this model. So, yeah, it's just unfortunately it is just one of those. It's just one of those days. I have to always fight this constant argument every single day. That is not literally me. I am a lot of things. I am a long cat. I'm a slightly over. I am a guy who edits clips who also occasionally gets burnt out once in a while. But I am someone that has literally drunk over 20 shots and woke up the next day with a minor headache, while being a notorious. While being a fellow streamer who has a notorious knack for drinking. But I am not a tsundere. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a tsundere. So I am not a tsundere. I am not a tsundere. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, today I woke up and I was like, while today would probably have been like a great opportunity to just kind of like work on stuff, I was like, I don't know. I just was not that motivated. That does not help. Oh my god, VNG. Whatever you sooner say. Great. That's not healthy. Yeah, it's believe me, ice cream. If you're talking about the shots, trust me, that was more of a one-off thing. I just kind of, because I technically did a drinking stream the day before, so and admittedly, I'm not really hungover, but I also am still kind of dealing with some very minor headaches. But other than that, no, I'm okay for the most part. It was definitely just a one-off thing because unfortunately I kept being challenged by a guy who claimed that he could outdrink me. And I beat him. I outdranked him. I like to think I outdranked him. So, of course, he's still. As I mentioned before, though, he continues to David, which is his name. He continues to claim otherwise, that that didn't drink as much as I claimed. And yeah, he's being a bit. Look. All I say is I have the bottle. I have the nearly empty bottle. As you can tell, and I went through most of it, so I say that counts for something at the very least. So yeah, you're not gonna have me sing CPR. That was never a thing. That was never gonna be a thing. You have to that would never be a thing. And you come in, and of course, Wolf, you come in at a perfect time. How are you doing, Wolf? Yes, just Wolf. In case you're wondering, no, that I did not make any promise about singing CPR at any point, sober or drunk. I never made any point in that regard. Yeah, It's as ridiculous. It's about as a ridiculous claim as me loving uppies. I don't know. My chat. I don't know. My chat claims the opposite of what I say. It's gone bad to everyone. We have that type of relationship. We have that type of streamer chat relationship now. Lazy cats. Well, this cat definitely be lazy today. Also, how are you doing, Spike Kirby? What's good? Hmm. So yeah, this cat really just kind of all he wants to do today is just chat, relax, maybe play a little bit of Crash Bandicoot 2 if I have the time, and then just enjoy life. Not worrying about the job, not worrying about work and all that. So and also classic stuff. If cat is lazy, you should be happy to get uppies and get the cat. Okay, I'm lazy for a number of things. But I definitely am not lazy to the point where I need to be get picked up. Look, I get it. Listen, I get it. I get it. You see long cat, you're inclined to pick up. I get it's in your nature to want to grab things you shouldn't be grabbing. You can't always do that. You can't always do that. If it's not too personal, what's your job? Not sure I'm at the point where I could really kind of say it on stream, but I will kind of say it is pretty much like it's definitely one of those dead end. It's definitely a dead end job. Like it's definitely one of those things where like it's not really going to be long term. It's more or less kind of like it's it's one of those like how do I miss? I mean, I can really only describe it as a dead end job because it's like, but I've been this job for like a while, so like not several years, like a couple, like maybe 4 or 5 years now, which it isn't bad, but you know, to pay your bills today kind of job, yeah. It's more or less it's strictly just for money at this point. It's kind and it does create the usual issue where I just kind of like I don't really particularly. I mean, who really enjoys their job? But it's like also it's the type of job where I could just kind of easily do this in my sleep, but I'm just gotten so bored with it that I would rather kind of just I don't know, and it just is what it is with that one. uh, Bailiff, what's good? What's good? Welcome in. It is some reality. It is like one of those things where, it is one of those things where yeah, it's definitely that type of thing where it's like, it is just strictly just for paying bills and just like, I don't know, but but ideally I would rather just like kind of move on. But when the money's okay, or when the money's all right, and it's like you know, kind of find yourself stuck in that position for a little while. So I'm hoping it's not like too long, but I don't know. It's unrealistic expectation everyone's gonna love their job. Yeah, I mean, no one ever really truly loves their job. I mean, for anyone that loves their dream job, it was probably. I mean, I guess congrats to you, but yeah, realistically, more often than not, no one's ever really got to love. Like, no one's ever really got to truly love the job at hand. So, you love your job. Yeah, I bet you do, Wolf. I, your reputation precedes you, and I hope it's. I can't imagine it is the type of job you love. Sure. Also, Chirps, welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, so, but yeah, I was kind of talking about like, but yeah, for those that are just kind of coming in, I was mostly just caught about that. It is one of those. I guess this stream is probably gonna be partially just me kind of, deflating, kind of, just letting some, just relaxing. So, like my job, but not my, yeah. I mean, the job itself is not bad. The environment and the atmosphere and like the place I work in, the people that I work with, I like them. Like they're cool. They're pretty cool. Like some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are just like I could get along with the coworkers just fine. It's just that it's really just management that just sucks ass. you know, it's really just purely management and the issue is not so much that management's being strict, it's just that they're just being completely incompetent. And it's like, And I don't know. I for me, it's like even though I could just like zone, I could just tune it out and just like focus on just like getting everything done within like the hours that's given to me. There's also a part of me that's like we could always kind of do just a little better on top of that. I don't know. And if I'm not able to kind of do that, then I just end up like not enjoying it as much. You know, I don't know. I don't know if there's a term for that, but it's like because I think with certain jobs you can like certain jobs you can have like enough leeway to kind of like have some sort of like I don't know I don't know the term for it, but needless to say, yeah, management's just terrible. So having a job is comfortable can be some sort of insidious kind of burden. I mean, I think that's the issue with comfortability. Like like having a job that's comfortable isn't. It doesn't sound as bad, but it's like if you find yourself too comfortable, you might end up like yeah, it would just like kind of weigh you down. Like as Jane would you said, it would just kind of weigh you down without actually offering you like the type of satisfaction that you're kind of desiring, I guess. Um, it's and I guess that's the thing. It's like, and I think that's probably like the other reason I find myself like not really willing to kind of switch jobs because it's like, as much as I would complain about it, it's still like a job that I'm familiar with, and it's like I could and like I mentioned, I could basically do this like in my sleep, but it's like it's just I guess it's just I don't know. It's just I just don't like management and it feels like they're I mean and it gets bad it's pretty bad like when they're kind of not making any attempted efforts to kind of like properly like give you enough people to work with because we always kind of dealt with like some understaffing issues on a pretty frequent basis and like I don't know it's just like and I know the main issue is because they're trying to save money and it's like I always will say and maybe this doesn't apply to like every field but I always kind of this probably will not really apply to like all fields but for the line of work I do um it's I just don't like if you're trying saving money short term isn't really gonna do much of a favor like it's not gonna really do much if you end up losing more people, you know? And like if I don't know. I just think it's like type of thing you're trying to offer if the quality if what you're offering is good, like if the quality that your stuff that you're offering is good enough, then people are going to bring in like their like you're going to get more you get more back, I guess is what I'm saying. And it's like you're trying to save money now, and it's not really going to do much if the problems are still going to persist. So I don't know. It's yeah. I know. It probably is a little less. I think it probably it's a little even. Sorry, I know it's like probably more. It makes less sense if you guys don't know the type of job. Like I said, it's about the end of a job, so it's like anyone could kind of directly in my join up in my line of work, but you know, so disagree. You need to find a challenge of fulfillment outside work. Job societies need to function are not the same ones. Com- Comfortable is good. Enrich yourself. Contentment is underrated. Yeah, I guess it is true. But yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of saying like the last couple of weeks, well, I've been saying last month that I was initially planning to just kind of like leave that job and just kind of like switch to another job and then just like worry about that and then not to worry about that aspect at the very least, but you know like again same issue now a lot of jobs that are offering kind of offered like the type of pay that kind of getting right now, so it's like yeah, so you got that going for me. yeah. So unfortunately, bills do need to be paid, and yeah. So, anyways, I know I kind of shifted off to a bit of a tangent where I'm just kind of like venting about this, but it has been kind of. I would be lying if I said it wasn't like affecting the other aspects of my life. So at the same time, so I just want to find a job that does not make me hit my head against the wall when I wake up and realize I need to go work. It's it's admittedly it has been a bit it has been like a somewhat similar situation. And I think it's because I'm just finding management more and more incompetent that it's just making me less and less uh like I would rather like it makes me more less inclined to want to go to work than I already am. Like no one ever really wants to go to work, but you at least at the very least you know what to expect, you know what to do. But it's like with this one, it's like I can't. It's even less. I'm even like less motivated to want to. So yeah, and I will, and I guess it also kind of ties in with like when I mentioned the other aspects of my life because it feels like it's creating that type of like because I'm going back to burnout on this one. It has created that type of burnout where it's starting to kind of affect the other aspects of my life because like rather than being productive with like other stuff, um, rather than just like keeping because rather than just being productive about certain stuff, I found myself like just like not as motivated, and just like wanting to go either a wanting to go sleep or just like b just like watching. I don't know. I mean, watching streams is kind of technically what I do as part of the other aspect of my job, which is just like, and I keep referring to clipping as a job. It's kind of, I guess, to an extent, it is sort of true, but I don't know. Last couple of days it has been more just like watching for the sake of watching than rather than just like, um, you know, checking somebody out and like, you know, making effort to kind of like put out more clips. And I guess that's kind of the other underlying issue of that burnout. So I don't know. I guess it's not so much creative burnout; it's just like burnout in general. Thinking about it now, so I don't know. But yeah, last 2 days I was like, but as I said before, the last 2 days was I would think the pretty glaring ominous signs were kind of there when I'm just like, where rather than spend because like last couple of days like really not a lot of streamers. Actually, no, a few streamers were on. Um, but I kind of found myself like not being able to kind of like make an effort to kind of edit, and I was just kind of and like I mentioned, I was kind of just like I ended up like playing Car Simulator 28, our Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 for like the last 2 days. So, you know, which again, and it's funny because that's usually a game I don't really like. It doesn't. I don't know why. I just found myself playing it, and it's like I don't not really much of a car guy, but I just kind of found myself playing it for like the last 2 days. I think it. I don't know. It just I don't know. I find myself in that loop for a little while. Meow 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 meow. Yeah, meow to you too, Spike Kirby. Um, so yeah. I mean, I guess at the very least, I was hoping I was able to kind of put out something today, because I was sort of hoping that I could probably get a little something from. Well, because for those that know, yesterday Niana had her Well, she was supposed to have her concert, but I think so, but something had. But I guess tech issues kind of pushed a lot of stuff, like create like a number of issues, and now there's like a night two for later tonight. But yeah, I was going hoping that was gonna be like more of like, I think the original idea was it was just kind of meant to be like all done on Saturday, and yeah, at the very least, I could have gone made a few clips from that particular stream. She postponed. I thought she was doing it today, or because I thought she pushed it to the next night. Huh. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if it's next week, then I guess it would be. I guess it's not too bad. Also, I think also it is technically her last concert too. So I think yeah. Honestly, I think yeah, because I remember yesterday I was hanging out with more technical issues of it not being completed. Yeah, I think so. I was like kind of hanging around with in Honey's server with like Harley and a few of the and several of the other Honey Buns because they were looking forward to because they wanted to like they were on the VC, they were obviously going to try to support Honey because they were expecting her to kind of perform because she was part of the concert alongside Ellie, Shamimi, Churchy and everybody. But yeah, it did get delayed, split in half, and now it's fully delayed till next. But yeah, the but yeah, I kind of figured something was up because like a lot there was like even after like they kind of started this concert, we I think Harley and Fjords did kind of notice that there was a bit of scuff like and that a lot there were a few things that seemed out of order. So and then obviously when it turned out there was going to be a the initial announcement that there was going to be a part two, but obviously as you said, Wolf, it sounds like they fully and as Wolf and Zen and everybody else said, seems like they kind of fully delayed it. So, which is I guess is for the best because it's kind of like the thing with delays. You rather just like in a situation like that, you might as well just like delay the full thing. Might as well just delay now so that you could just have so that when the full product or whatever is like completely finished, like people will enjoy it more. People will be disappointed that it had to be postponed, for sure, but I think you definitely wouldn't envision it as like out of plan, I guess. I don't know anything about Niana. Is she graduate? So yeah. So Niana is planning to graduate, I believe, on July, some point in July. I think some mid July. I think. So yeah. So this concert basically is going to be like her last official full on concert that she's hosting. So and I was kind of talking about that in particular because a few of the VTubers that I clipped are performing in that concert. Ellie Maybot, Shamimi, Honey the Quiet Bunny. So that's kind of like I was kind of prominently talking about that. So, company and software behind the 3D motion was not completed with the work. So the promised rush job for delay time that was not finished again. I think they thought it was all clear, but ended up not being done. Hence why they kept initially. Oh, yeah. It does. It sounds like it. It does sound like it's some miscommunication on that one for sure. And that's like, yeah, it is unfortunate, and yeah, but it does kind of that type of stuff will. Man, I know that type of stuff will happen, but it's like, yeah, it's a pretty shitty situation. No matter like regardless, So, but I guess at the very least, so long as like everything's being done, like so long as it's being delayed next week, so long as so long as everything is like fully completed and like everything's good. I imagine the performance next week will definitely be like it'll be a lot more memorable for sure. So, also Odin, welcome in. So, I don't know it. But yeah, concert got delayed, and so yeah, concert's delayed, and I guess I found myself waking up. I'm not gonna lie, even waking up now, I knew I was like completely. Well, first off, I woke up like at 1 in the morning initially with like a really bad headache, and then not 1 in the morning. Woke up like yeah, actually maybe it was 1 in the morning. I can't remember. Anyways, point being, yeah, so interesting weekend. I think I probably would. I think I'm probably just more or less spending the rest of this weekend just kind of like relaxing. So, so yeah. Anyways. So, Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what else I could directly talk about. But I think that was more or less it. I just kind of spent. I think I just kind of wanted to get that out of my system. The whole thing with my job because I. It's really one of those things I can never really talk about. Like even like amongst my family because my family either a they aren't gonna understand it or b they have other stuff to kind of worry about. So it's like yeah, and I do have and for me I do have a sibling. I do have a younger brother, but I also know he more or less kind of works at the same place that I work at. Slightly different position, but he kind of more or less understands. I think, but it's also like if I tell him anything, he will understand, but it's like he also can't really do much about it on his end. So you know, just usual stuff. So, um, but yeah, So other than that, I guess as far as burnout, I guess I would have to. I think I think the initial plan now is just at the very least try to get some vacation time. Uh, Probably I'm not gonna probably go anywhere directly. I think I'm probably just gonna use this to just kind of relax, like actually get some actual vacation, like, like take a break from from the workplace environment and just like enjoy. I don't know, enjoy life. A staycation, yes, yeah. Because honestly, directly, well, I would look. I mean, I'm not. To be fair, it wouldn't be a full-on staycation because I kind of live nearby, like one live nearby a pretty big city. But so I mean, it's not really gonna be. I guess if you want to technically count like traversing around the city as like as a vacation, I guess I could count that as such. But I don't know. Honestly, staycations are probably much more worth it at the end. you know, Not worrying like you. It's not is it exotic or is it as unique? Probably not. But it's still. But at least you ain't. At least you're not spending thousands out of your potato just to like you know. um, I mean, I guess it's for the best. I wouldn't even know where to directly want to go at this point. Like, closest. I think the closest I've ever said I ever wanted to go anywhere outside of my home, and this is partially probably going to be doxing as far as where I'm not living, but I would definitely love to go back to Vegas or something. So, I, there. I guess that's sort of you could definitely cross Vegas off one of those lists where I'm not living at. I guess so. Yeah. So you got that. But I also heard Vegas nowadays is ridiculously like exorbitantly more is like more pricier nowadays because like they kind of nickel and dime everything, like including like parking, staying in certain places. Yeah, so yeah, definitely I'm not spending 1,000 a day just for that. So need to figure out a similar staycation period soon since you cancel my July open sauce plans. You're risking. Oh, damn. Oh, right. Because some companies kind of actually force you to kind of take those paid vacation, like take that paid vacation right away. Yeah, I've heard companies that do that. My company more or less kind of just gives me all my vacation pay. If I don't use any of it, so you know, uh, am I winning? Am I winning, son? How are you doing, Calm? I like to think I won. I definitely felt like I won yesterday. Although the headache definitely makes me feel otherwise. But no, I definitely think I'm winning today. Maybe. I can carry over like vacation days until March, but then it's just more stuff to keep track of in our month. Yeah, they definitely don't care. Yeah, you could say that again. I mental health. Yeah, I could definitely. No, it's no. The headache is fine. Come, if being honest, it's more. I'm more dealing with like slight burnout. Not really slight burnout. Pretty much just burnout. So I'm just been kind of. So yeah, more or less kind of just yapping and just chilling out today. So carry over your. But yeah. So yeah, mental health doesn't carry over. Other days don't carry over. It's yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I, Either way, I definitely need a mental break. But yeah, so like regardless if it's in the form of a staycation or if it's just like even going as far as if it. I mean, I don't think I would ever just like flat out quit on the spot, but if they, I guess at some point I would have to kind of make a decision whether or not it's still worth sticking around at the very like in my current workplace at the very least. So you know, but yeah, needless to say, it did kind of affect my productivity this week, and like I can't stuff like because I think maybe some people may have noticed that because usually like when it comes to like streams, like for example, usually like on a Tuesday, for example, like Ellie usually does her like Balding with the Boys streams with Bo and me, for example, and usually I'll be able to kind of get at least like one clip out the next day. But yeah, it kind of but it was like pretty prominently bad this week because like half of that was like I would rather like either A I was like streaming or B I was just like not as like I was just completely burned out. And then I found myself like posting clips like a few days later. And while it's not as bad, it's like I would rather try to get like everything done as soon as possible with said clips, while not rushing too much on that. So I don't know. I think that's kind of like the other thing. I think with yeah, I think I'm thinking. I think. Sorry, I'm just like I'm trying to figure out the right word for it, but I think they've been ridiculously like putting too much. And it just kind of goes back to the whole thing about being creative, about the creative burnout and whatnot. But I feel like I have been kind of putting too much pressure on myself as far as like wanting to put out like a type of clip that like wanting to put out clips that I feel like would be satisfactory for that I think would be satisfactory for everybody when I may be overthinking about that. Because at the end of the day, like it should just be like if I see a moment that I think would be interesting or I see a moment that I like, then just I should just probably put it out there, you know. Like if people and just let the viewers decide. Like if people like it, they will hit the like button. If not, they'll just hit the vice versa. So and I think I don't know. I think with YouTube, it's like how do I best describe it? I don't know. I have been feeling putting maybe just a bit too much pressure on myself on stuff that probably isn't even much of a factor, like or people wouldn't really care about to begin with. So I can't tell if that's just like partially me being trying to be a perfectionist or just like or if it's just like me overthinking. Probably it's probably both, but yeah. I should probably just like should just probably just scale back and just like actually just focus on the core element where it's just like see something that I think is like I said, see something that's interesting, do the best I can with the edit, and just put it out. And if people like it, they like it. And if not, they don't. They can always swipe right, you know. So, but yeah, I'm not sure why. I can't tell if it's just like because now I know like that certain people are like expecting like something out of me or not, but I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Also, Morrow, welcome in. So, sorry, this whole stream is basically gonna probably be like 50% venting. So, But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Hopefully, I mean, when I come back, maybe I'll probably get back. Maybe I'll play a game. We'll see. But yeah, in the meantime, per usual, I'm do not do what I think you will do, and actually don't. Yeah, just don't pick me up. And to make sure that you don't do that, I'm going to stare at you menacingly, uh, to the best of my ability. So, so yeah, I will be back. I don't know, just grab your nearest bottle of tequila that's currently stuck in my face, and yeah, I will be back. So, yeah, be like a quick minute though. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I am back. What's good? What's good? What's good? So yeah, just ignore the fact that I'm like literally in your face. Just let me move. Let me move this kill out of the way. Yeah, toss that tequila off to the side. I drank all that. It's all good. Well, I drank most of it yesterday, so yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got as far as like stuff to say. So, ba 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 ba. Anyways, I'm assuming. I'm probably gonna assume that server's probably not streaming today, right? She doesn't. I don't. I think if I remember, server Don's usually she doesn't usually do a Sunday server Don. I don't. She doesn't usually stream on Sundays during her server Don, if I remember. So, I think so. Yeah, yeah. I don't see her. Okay, it's all good. Sometimes I kind of have her like streaming in the background, so just kind of curious. So let's finish that bad boy. Oh jeez, I would love nothing more than to finish that, but at the same time, all that talk about work, I also kind of have to work in like a few hours. And I think the last thing I need for for like going into the job is being like a few shots in, just being like, "Yo, what's up, people? What's up?" As I wiggle my way around, as I wiggle my way around and join. I don't know. Not quite the Sunday vibes that you get from work, at the very least. Or is that exactly what you need? I mean, theoretically, if I really want to, I would definitely take another day off and just like drink the rest of this. But unfortunately, I cannot do that. So it is what it is with that one. Yeah, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, especially don't do that. You know, I remember I have a Crown and Coke for you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I remember I remember when I was working. I remember I got invited like by a couple friends to hang out with them at a nightclub that they really wanted to go to. And to be fair, the nightclub wasn't really all that was cracked up to be. It was like it just kind of felt like a dark room with neon. I mean, that's just most nightclubs. It's a dark room, neon lights, and like people dancing. It's not bad. It's like it wasn't bad, but it also wasn't all that high quality. For being real. But yeah, had but I think kind of much like last night, I was like, you know how it is with peer pressure and people like wanting to see you want to drink and enjoy life, just enjoying as is. So I did. I took like if I recall, I didn't really do 20 shots like I did yesterday, but I did took a few shots. I also drank like a numerous amount of like other drinks like cranberry vodka and like a few other few Modelo's and which is a cerveza, aka you know so needless to say, I drank a lot. I guess is what I'm saying. So, and didn't all that knowing full well that I had to go to work and do a double the next day. Like I had to go to work at like 7 a.m., like 7 in the morning. So and we stayed up till like 4 in the morning one time. So I had 12 beers on Friday and was dying the next day. Yeah, so I drank like what I mean. I drank, and I want to say I drank like a champ, and I was doing fine like I did yesterday. But when you come back home at like 4 in the morning and you only get like less than 2 hours of sleep, yeah, it's gonna hit you pretty badly, regardless of whether or not you come prepared. Uh, so had a bit too much to drink on Friday, and then you forget to eat and drink water, and could confirm the next day. Yeah, I definitely forgot to drink water when I was at the club. So, but needless to say, I woke up. I had to go to work. My coworkers. I mean, I did enough to make sure that that my breath did not smell like alcohol, but they could kind of tell I was completely out of it, to extent, sort of. And yeah, needless to say, an hour later, I more or less kind of was like in the bathroom, you know, disputing last night's drinks into the nearest toilet. So, needless to say, harsh lesson there. Don't ever think that you're, don't ever think you're as prepared for a full-on drinking session, because you probably are not. And definitely don't do this the day before a morning shift. So I think that's the viable lessons that I've come to learn that very day. So yeah. Also, although on a side note, the cranberry vodka was pretty decent. So, but yeah. Compare that to today. Yeah, nah, this was easy. It was easy. Tequila is not that like. Well, tequila is not as. Actually, I can't tell whether or not tequila is more alcohol. If the percentage of alcohol there is usually more than vodka, but I don't know. Tequila came across. Tequila was okay. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. So. But yeah, anyways, that's enough of me saying that's enough of me saying that ridiculous story time. um, so I'm not gonna lie, I did say I was gonna do Crash 2, and I could do Crash Bandicoot 2, but I also kind of want to play Marvels. Even though I probably will not count this as like a Marvel stream. Uh, but I'm kind of open to doing Marvels. Because unfortunately, that's one addiction that apparently cannot curb. Hey, hey, well, guess what? Yeah, Chop Chop. Yeah, what's up? What's good, Chop Chop? So Adam, I'm gonna requote a Chop Chop. I'm gonna. Okay, okay. Let me reiterate how I feel about you guys. Through to quote a certain Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers. Uh, to all you guys, to my fellow fleas, and as we go through a 3 minute ad break, as I say this, I love you guys, but you are all terrible. You are so terrible. I guys, I guys, how much do I need to? How much do I need to? What do I need to do to reiterate this fact? I don't love uppies. I don't love uppies. You could do a lot of things with me. You could boot like I mentioned yesterday. You could boop me in the nose, numerous times. You can give me head pats. You can even give me a hug, I guess, but reluctantly. But you can give me a hug because that's slightly different from uppies. But it's okay. I'm not a tsundere. I'm not a tsundere. I'm not anything. I'm not anything that ends with dairy. I'm not a soon. I'm not anything. So look, or what this message could possibly be. The message is exactly as I'm telling you. I do not love uppies. Uppities. I do not love these. I mean, I'm just gonna pull out Marvels. I feel like that's the only way to distract you. Just how some people like to jingle keys to distract this cat's attention. This cat's just gonna open up a game of Marvels just to keep you guys distracted. I feel like that's the best course of action here. So, yeah. So yeah, who wants Marvels? Everybody, who wants Marvels? Ads mean you hear nothing. Oh my god. Yeah, Chop Chop. I forgot you aren't subbed. And also I also don't know why I'm telling you this, considering you can't hear me at all. But anyways, yeah. Who wants marbles? Ray, how are you doing? How are you doing, Ray? I did not. Damn it. Hold on. I did not say any of that. Stop lying, Zone. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for the ad break to end, and then I'm just probably gonna start opening up a game of marbles. There's no winning, you guys. I tell you everything I need that you need to know, and you still refuse to listen to the facts. You don't Zen. You don't speak Sundere anything. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. anyways, let me open up Marvels. This is not gonna count as 1 to 4 Marvel streams that I'm obligated to do this month because it's not a full on Marvel stream. So, or unless we can make it as full on Marvel stream, but I don't think I would do that. I think every Monday, every Monday is probably gonna be for this month is going to be Marvels. So. And to be fair, even though I probably shouldn't be doing it today, I guess it's probably I got nothing better to do. And if we're being honest, I think I'd rather just do Crash next week, Crash Bandicoot 2 next week. So yeah, who wants marbles? All right, let me switch over. Also, I noticed a lot of people playing Deltarune. Was there like a new Was there a new chapter that came out, or something? Because I noticed the uptick of people playing Deltarune. Deltarune under streams have kind of ticked up this week. Two new chapters came. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, two chapters did come out. Shit, I forgot about that. Also, hi Aki, how are you doing? Aki, I had to kind of take a page from your. I had to take a page from your playbook and just use the Winnie the Pooh Gangnam Style for my starting soon screen because Pitbull was playing, and I had none, and I kind of thought of you and your starting soon screen, so I just kind of made something out of that on the flash. So yeah, I hope you were good, Aki. Oh my god. Aki has ruined us. Aki. I mean, Aki's not. I mean, ruined is too harsh of a word. Aki's very, I guess she's. I don't know. How do I best describe. No, Aki's. I don't know how to actually describe. But, anyways, yeah, Aki, I hope you're doing well. And also, Big Cat, welcome in. Welcome in indeed. Anyways, let me open up Marvels before I completely forget. Okay, opening up now, and it crashed. Why would Marvels crash? Well, out of all games that could potentially crash, why Marvels? Anyways, let me try this again. How's the day going? Good. I am dealing with like a very minor headache. It's gone now. It's mostly gone now, but you know, it's whatever. We're okay. We're surviving. I'm surviving. I was also kind of spent the first half of the stream kind of venting about my job, but other than that, you know, just usual stuff. So good. You were deep last night. Yeah. David keeps denying that I really truly went 20 shots, but I don't know. Maybe I should show the bottle real quick before. Sorry, I'm gonna show the bottle real quick. But I don't know. I drink, but when the bottle's like nearly 16th of the way of 12th or 16th of the way down, I like to think I did something. I feel like that was significantly, at the very least, if not 20, at least 15 shots. You know. So, at the very least. Let me grab the. Sorry, let me grab the picture. Where did I leave it under food? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so yeah, definitely not doing Crash today. Definitely probably just gonna do Marvels. Hopefully this doesn't crash. But yeah, as you can kind of tell, it is mostly drunk it down. This is how much it got down. So I like to think I did pretty well, even if David keeps denying that this is not truly 20 shots. I still think I did okay, and I still think I outdrank him regardless. So, you know, one of those things. The Blanco definitely. Yeah, to be fair, I just kind of grabbed like I mentioned yesterday. I was rushing late because I completely all that promoting for like the drinking stream, and I completely had forgot yesterday to actually get like a drink of some kind, like 15 minutes before the stream starts. So I was rushing to the store. I just grabbed like the nearest bottle of tequila because. Per usual, my store usually just has like Patron like locked behind the glass case, so I couldn't actually get like actual good stuff. So I just kind of grabbed that 1800 brand, and then yeah, I know because it's Blanco, because like that's not really like, but you know, it's like at the same time I can't be bothered grabbing like some really expensive stuff. It's alcohol consumption isn't really something to be proud of, but I was being egged on and challenged by a guy who claims to be a very notorious drinker. So you know, I will take this very unfortunate dub however I can. Less impurities, less hang. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that explains why I didn't feel anything. Yeah, I was to be honest, I was just kind of like regularly drinking, like because with tequila, it's like I was wondering why like there's a significant difference between like silver and and the other one knows Resposito or something, but or wherever. Wait, let me see this. Yeah, I didn't know like the yeah Resposada. Yeah Resposada. Yeah. So deeper the color, the worse the hangover. So okay, well that explains why I didn't feel much. So yeah, there we go. The more I know. So also 40. Welcome in. Welcome in. So also I also heard you drink tequila and rum. Oh, okay. So you wouldn't. Yeah, you definitely would know. I think Dave, in comparison, drank nothing but whiskey and with some beers in between. Like he drank this one Japanese whiskey, and I think he drank like another brand of like either rum or whiskey. So okay, that might okay that yeah that would actually explain why he actually sounded worse off. So damn. Well, the more I know. Basically, essentially, I came in with only like a. Basically, I guess in video game terms, I only came in with like a pistol, and like David literally came in with like three AKs, like he did in the game. So that's which I guess would make sense. In either case, yeah, it's not really something that I probably should be proud of. Uh, we probably should not be setting this example to those under 18, but thinking about it now, but you know, I don't know. I feel like, but again, I will take that dub however I can. So, also, Scaife, I know I'm really late on this. How are you doing, Scaife? You haven't been on vacation since you were in school. Please give yourself as much vacation as you can. Uh, yeah, if you think you can get yourself the opportunity for a break, please do so because I used to kind of always think like being on over going 100%, 10% was all great, but then even then you find yourself completely running out of gas. Not under 18. Sorry, I naturally inclined to say under. I meant to say under 21. My bad. That I'm not Canadian, so that's a country you cross off as far as places I don't live at. So yeah, sorry. I'm definitely full on American. Um, yeah, sorry. A natural inclination because I so used to saying under 18, over under 18 for like other stuff. Yeah, you know. Sorry, under 21. Definitely don't heed the advice I give. Not that you guys would probably listen anyways. All right, okay, I think this is working again. I think this is working again. Let me switch over to Gamer Zone. uh, isn't it? Wait. Okay, I think there we go. Anyways, I'm just gonna play Marvels for like probably like the rest of the hour at least. So yeah, if you guys want to join, you guys know what you need to do. So let's start. Let's race it up. How many countries even have a legal drinking age of 21? I have no exact clue, but I definitely know. All I know is that all I know is that Canada's under 18, U.S. under 21, or you cannot drink, and yeah, so yeah. So, anyways, I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna start mapping. There we go. Also, let me make sure everything's good. Anyways, you guys know the rules. You guys know what you need to do. Exclamation mark play. 19 Canadians. Oh. So just like the legal drinking age of 19 in general. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Anyways, let me blast up the background music a little more. And there we go. Ba ba ba. Even Finland, which has some pretty strict alcohol laws, has like the 18 drink. Oh shit. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, yeah, legal drinking age is kind of hard to hear to like one universal one. So, it's 18. Gotcha. Anyways, let me. Where are you guys? Uh-oh. Sorry, I've been like, if Verdoza probably stuck around, probably see me, probably knows whenever I do streams like these, I get incredibly nitpicky at the frame rate, and I feel like something's completely off. If like Marvel's Wall things, is if there's like frame stuttering in like Marbles of all things, so I'm like, oh crap, what the hell happened? It also probably didn't help that I kept my PC on for like 48 hours again. So wait. Let me close out my usual stuff. I think we're good. It's a little better. Okay, I think we're a little better. Anyways, exclamation mark play for usual. If you guys are lurking or if you guys are around, it could just probably be 4 people. It doesn't matter. It's 18 in Alberta, Manitoba, and Quebec, and 19 everywhere else. Damn. I mean, to be fair, yeah, legal drinking age. We can't. There's probably at least, like, regardless of which generation it is, like, you guys are probably gonna encounter at least few people that end up drinking under drinking limit. I'm not gonna say it's okay. I'm actually obligated to tell you it's not okay, but I definitely grew up with people that definitely were drinking well below the drinking limit as well. So it is what it is with that one. Wisconsin, the cheese state. Also, let me make sure everything's good. Real quick. All right. Also, let me rechange the title so that we're not telling people that we're not really playing Crash 2. I don't think I'm gonna do Crash 2. Just classic stuff. So, anyways, I don't know. We'll just probably start off with start with 4, and then we'll just work our way from there. Oh, there we go. Hello, Spike Kirby. Once again, what's good? Where Marvel at? It is Father's Day, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's people. To be fair, it is Father's Day, so I wouldn't be surprised if half of the usual chat is actually probably out and about with their dads. I kind of assume that's the case because like I'm pretty sure like what 80, at least 80% of the Twitch chat is usually male. So I just kind of assume most of them are just hanging out with their dads. So this is the 15-hour mark. Well, one, I kind of keep forgetting we don't have drops, but also two, there's no way I could do a 15-hour Marvel stream. Actually, I probably can, but there's no way I could do that without at least bringing in someone to help assist me with it. It's like kind of like Bo when he initially did the paint drying stream for like 11 hours. Like in the last couple hours, he more or less kind of dragged in his friends to kind of help make things more interesting, I guess. Also back, welcome in. Gonna need more tequila for that. Yeah, yes indeed. Is it really that interesting though? Drunk marbles. I don't know. Also, I don't know if I should be like the drunk streamer, because then drinking streams probably will not be as noble, you know. So, anyways, but yeah, I assume half of the chat's probably like out and about because it's like the afternoon over here in North America, and you know, I imagine most of them are here with their dads, like fishing and whatnot, or like hanging out with them, you know. So my dad's pretty chill. In comparison, he just told me it's all good. I just kind of wished him Happy Father's Day, and yeah, he was all chill about it. So, anyways, we'll just start with just. Yeah, so unfortunately, it does also mean the usual Marvel acts are probably not going to be available today. But, you know, it's fine, because that means the chances to win are definitely going to go up in your favor, so you got that going for you. I see we're dealing with ghosts again. And as back, you unfortunately perish, 07. Where was I hungover last stream? Apparently, I don't. If I was, I didn't last as long. I didn't really feel much. As we kind of, I think because as Big Cat kind of pointed out, tequila blanco tequila, or like if you're drinking Patron, like I think silver is their version of what they call it, but basically it's like it's the clear tequila that usually is like really. It's likely not gonna give you as bad of a hangover. So I think that I think that pretty much explains why I kind of survived. So yeah, David on the other hand, I don't think he did, because apparently having drunk whiskey and all that other stuff. Also, what type of race is this? There's a whole lot of Yeezys over here. But yeah, Ideologist, aka the Fish Guy. I hope you're doing okay. But yeah, like I kind of said last stream with David, I'm always open to kind of doing more drinking streams. I don't know if I'll be doing it all the time, obviously, but for obvious reasons. But maybe as once in a while type of ordeal. Oh, Big Cat. No. 07 Big Cat. You're our only hope. Hey, there we go. The sun won. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who really went first, because the sun will perish us all. So 10-hour workdays or 7 days. Jesus. Yeah, listen, I was just talking about work not too long ago being a pain. I cannot fathom the idea of doing 10-hour workdays for 7 days, especially like if it's consecutive days. I can't fathom with that. There's no way I would survive that. You know? Especially not 10 hours. Jesus. Anyways, exclamation mark play. Gotta bounce off into the void right at the finish when being in the. Yeah. I mean, you gotta be built for marbles. Says tis the rule, you know. Been chef for less than 10 hours is part time. Uh, 6 days average. Jeez. The light, the things we do for our jobs, you know. So I have to work the week after though. Then it's back. Jeez, how? Like I know you being the fish guy, I kind of get it's a very important job, but still, that is a lot to do. And I imagine at the very least for that many hours, I hope they are paying your ass very well. I hope they are paying you very well because yeah, I definitely will not do this for minimum wage. That's why you're trying to go back to school and get into the online. At the end, yeah, I think in the long run, it's probably more worth it in the long run for sure. So wacky, welcome in. Welcome in, wacky. So long as you're not doing what you do, and yeah. So ending a 30-year career. That is a lot about. Damn, that is a lot of years indeed. I mean, I guess it's never too late to to go and start something new, regardless if you're like just coming up fresh out of high school and like or just fresh out of college, or just like you know in your 40s or 50s, or just like yeah. At the end of the day, I guess as long as it works out in the end. King crab, salmon, and halibut. All which sounds like some delicious seafood I could always that I'm in the mood for. um, Start working in construction. Said to myself that I'm only gonna do that for a couple years and then go back to school. That was 8 years ago. Yeah, it is one of those things where it's like yeah, they're saying what you want to do, and then it's like actually trying to go forward with it. Sometimes easier said than done. That's for sure. Anyways, I am going to start. I'm gonna start this one because yeah, it is Sunday. I think some of our usual Marvel addicts, unfortunately, are unfortunately out of commission at the moment. So it's a shame, but it be what it be. Also, I still need to kind of. Also, actually, no. I kind of have an idea what to do for this week's schedule. I already kind of have two. I kind of have two streams already confirmed. That I'll be planning on doing for the next 2 days. So yeah, it's an interesting. It is an interesting case for like I guess the last few weeks where either I'm doing as much streaming as I am posting clips, or in this case, doing more streams than actually doing clips. But you know, I'm game. I mean, I am more or less kind of used to it now, more or less. Yeah, best of luck to you, Zen. Because yeah, because at the end of the day, if it helps get you in a much better position, it's always worth it at the end. You know, no matter like no obviously no matter what type of adversities you gotta deal with, it's always worth it at the end. So, ooh. Oh wait, how'd you guys die? Wait, wacky polar sun and back. Wait, how'd you all die? Oh, that's why. Some of you guys literally felt. What the hell is going on? Wait. Wait. How? I mean, okay. Hard maps today, and not enough people to, and not enough people, which means Oh my god! And look at this one, literal roller coaster right here. Okay. Just came by to ask about the aftermath of yesterday. Yeah, I'm okay. David, I think might be okay. I still outdrank him regardless. Even and yes, that's the lessons learned from today. Um, Even though technically, I guess I technically went a little light today, but still, a drink's a drink at the end of the day. So, also Minori, welcome in. Welcome in. I did not even see you were. I did not even see you claim your daily uppies until now. How are you doing, Minori? Miyabe. Oh, Pudinak, welcome in. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. So, I guess once again, just chilling out. It's having relaxing, decompressing. Enjoying a few games of marbles. So, yeah. But yes, Pudinak, I hope you've been good. I know you've been hard at work. Monitoring for both the Cerberdon and Nekoela's Nekodon. So yeah, This man, this me and Mod, definitely a hard worker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Sunday, I assume I don't know if Ella's streaming today, but I know the server's off, so yeah, you get yourself a well earned break, and yeah, enjoy us once again dying in marbles. We'll see how it goes. So, oh no, Slay Eric, how are you doing? Still didn't forget the fact that you gave me uppies that one time, so I didn't forget. Yeah, no dog. Listen, the dog will be back tomorrow. The dog. What the dog doing? The dog be resting. The dog will be fine. She'll be back on same time, same place. And as everyone probably knows, Servadon's definitely not ending anytime this month. So, it is what it is. So, also, did I join? Oh yeah, I did join. Never mind. Anyways, let's get to it. And let's hope. I mean, this one looks a lot more safer. I don't think anyone's really going to die once again. Let's hope. When is the Shinstadon? Oh, God. That's a good one. If ever, I don't know if I would. I don't know. And even on the off chance, if I have I don't know if I have the time for it. But even if I did, I don't even know where to begin with it, or how to even approach it. Celadon's always they always look like it's a lot, like a lot of planning and everything. I don't know, but I guess at the same time, all I could really say is never say never. I guess. All right. We'll just tell you what, we'll start with 9. No one's really gonna die. Back, you never know. That's what makes Marvel so mesmerizing. We need a CPR cover for Shinsadam if we can't get her. Okay, fine. I'll tell you what. If it makes you feel better, because I don't think I would ever motivate myself to ever put that as an option. Should I ever decide to do a Subadon or a Donaldon, doesn't matter if it's capped or not, I would definitely I would put that as a sub goal. If I ever decide to do a Subadon A kind, be it uncapped or capped, even if it's just like even if it's just like a, I don't know, like a 1 week Subadon, like cap Subadon, even like something like that, I would put that as a sub goal. So if that would that help? I assume, because I'm not gonna lie, I am definitely not motivated to sing CPR. no matter what version. As Wacky unfortunately died, '07, and back. I don't know why you're still you're just vibing back there, but you know. Sorry. Well, meantime, Punag. I think you're in the lead technically. Zen. No. You're at least not dead. Well, you chose to be indifferent. I guess you chose to be indifferent. I guess in a way that's better than dying. I guess. Look, at the very least, but yeah. Tell you what, I would definitely put that as a sub goal because there's no other situation where I find myself wanting to sing CBR. And the worst part about, and I mentioned this before, the worst part about it is that Numi's version of that song is definitely a lot better than the original, which says a lot about that song in general. Anyways, oh, damn, Punak's still going strong. Boost. Mine would be better Numi's version. I think the only way mine would even try to compete is if I actually went to a studio and actually performed it. If I do try to do like a karaoke-esque thing, it probably will not sound as great. Punak got them zoomies, yeah. He worked hard. Yeah, he came in. He worked hard on this one. And yeah, that Hellhound energy. I mean, it's the classic Mina. It is what's to be expected from a dedicated Minawan. So. Nope. So, and it all paid off in the end. Meanwhile, you're just. I think you already. I was gonna say where you were at. I think you already perished. And Odin, I think you're just stuck. Yeah, you're just stuck. But yeah, congratulations, Punag. You came in, you saw marbles, you completely delivered. Nicely done. Nicely done indeed. Polar, you got second, not too bad. I claimed third, Kirby fourth, Eric fifth. The rest, 07 to the Fallen. 07 indeed. Well, at the very least, no one died. Nobody, well, yeah, I want to say nobody died. Some people you see all died, but at least we didn't have a full-on massacre. Oops, sorry. All right, wow, that's really vibrant. But yes, as you guys know, exclamation mark play. So, and also I don't know if I said hi earlier, but Nerosabu, what's good? What's good? Welcome in. Yeah. Always wondered. Yeah. So I always kind of assume Minawans are definitely much more. I like to assume they're usually faster. Code bugs are definitely a lot more technologically sound. Honey buns, they are. I guess what I'm saying, usually most communities have like a defining characteristic, I guess. I kind of forgot what the honey buns defining characteristics were. All I remember about them is that they play cute, but they also have like a whole lot of. I also remember them having jetpacks and lasers. So, yeah. Bozos are usually, as the name implies, bozos, and Shaminians are XCX coded, so. Yeah. I don't know. I was just kind of taking note of each of those, so. What if pedals have the power 3? Or what if you have the power 3? then you combine those powers together and you create something that's distinctly and uniquely yours. So, um, yeah, Bozos represents. Bozos represent indeed. Yeah, I think you just kind of mix your powers together and you create something. Yeah, create something that's distinctly yours. Yeah. Okay. I forgot you guys have and I also forgot the honey buns have unicorns too. How, honey? I don't know. Honey spoil. Honey spoils a lot of you guys. Like, yeah, those layers. Yeah, honey spoils a lot of you. And I guess, I mean, it's not entirely bad. I guess, it comes with its own benefits and perks. I should, on a side note, I kind of want an emote of like, I don't know why. I kind of want an emote of me shooting lasers now. Or just me flying with a jetpack. You know? Why can't I have a jetpack? So. Yeah. And we have code bug representation here. Anyways, did I join? I did not join. And thank you. Oh yeah, thank you for the care package, Underfighter. Because you don't need it. You already. I'd much rather get the jetpack than be given uppies. Listen, everyone gets their defined characteristics. I do not need uppies. I just need. I would rather have a jetpack. That will solve all my problems, all in one go. Oh yeah, I forgot. She also gave me Fragment Battle. So yeah, I guess you got that as a perk too. You have a name yet? You're talking about community? Yeah. This is really one of those things where I should keep reminding myself to refer to my community on a regular basis. But yeah, more or less, the community that I have has been called Fleas, because that's in, and it's like one of the situations where people kind of just agreed with the notion, So yeah, as it can kind of tell, you guys are Fleas because much like yourselves, you tend to want to grab onto me and try to, against my will, mind you, and you want to try to, I guess in some rare cases, strange enough, want to try to pull something out of me, I guess. Look, but at the end of the day, to no avail. All you guys do is make me itch with annoyance, I guess. Which in a way kind of why I kind of thought this flea thing was really perfect, because you guys think you grab onto me and carry me against my will. I find you annoying and I scratch you like an irritating bug, like the irritating little bugs that you are. Yeah, it's not the most original name, granted, but I think it. I guess lore-esque, it sort of makes sense, So, anyways, I will start. I'm gonna start right now. So, power to smoothies. Yep, we got we got the smoothies in the house too. You got the power to smoothies, and with a floating brain that currently keeps denying the fact that he's a bilf. It's a whole ordeal. So the stalkers or Cocos, which doesn't want me. Jeez. Yeah, I guess it could be. I guess you could have worse community names. For Bookie, obviously, it's like. I forgot. Was Bookie the Kid Cigarettes, or was it just like. Trimps? I kind of forgot. Oh, hey, Wacky. Also, yeah, side note. If you guys ever want. I know not everyone is well aware of Wacky. He's a regular here. But if you do ever find yourself wanting to know more about this particular brain, who happens to be a mod and is, because I will kind of occasionally reference names that not everybody's going to be aware of, but yeah, for those who don't know Wacky, he is a brain. He's a fellow brain in this community that's besides Shimimi, and yeah, in case you ever want to learn more about him, you could check out. All you need to do is hit !bilf, and you will learn everything you need to know about Wacky. So, So, with that said, the power of the foxtail, but she's scared. Well, Bookie's a whole. Bookie's an entirely different beast. I mean, wacky. This is to be expected. You know, you put an unauthorized command, Ubby's command on yours channel. It's only fair I put something on my channel. You know, it happens. Oh shit. Anyways, Odin, you're in the lead. Yeah, Bookie is pretty fun. Yeah, and she is pretty based. So yeah, kind of. The only downside is that she does kind of stream at like completely random points, so I never exactly know when she'll ever be on. Sometimes, I think the last couple streams she was like literally like late at night, where I am definitely like dead ass asleep at that point. So, also, no, no. See, and this is why I would never try to talk shit at all. Or at least not full on talk shit, because karma always finds a way to get back at me, no matter what. Even when I try my best not to say anything, if I even remotely imply anything, something ends up getting back at me at the worst possible time. You need ubbies. I don't need ubbies. I can dig myself out of that scrape, just like I could dig myself out of a number of things. Anyways. anyways. Slayer, Slayer, I didn't say hi to you earlier. How you doing? And I hope you've been well. So, oh, listen, it's been a long week. It happens, you know. Sometimes I can't control fate that's given to me. But yeah, so. Anyways, what were we talking about before? Community names. Yeah. So, yeah, we are fleas. Or if you guys ever stick around here on a regular basis, you are considered a flea in my book. Because in a way, I guess, I don't know. How do I best describe it? Because it sounds like you would not want to name a community for something that annoys you. But it's not really like infuriating annoying. It's like you're there. I don't like you annoy me sometimes, but it doesn't really. But you know, how I best describe it. You know, your code bug, flea or bugs. We good. Yeah, it's all good. Coco's is so funny, but you don't want to type it. Given that's Coco, I can only assume. Admittedly, I don't really like. It's funny because I don't know. Coco streams I usually don't really like stick around for long because a lot of it is just like half of it is just like crap. It's just people. Half of her chat going on TTS and her responding, or at least that's what I get from some of those. Yeah, it is half TTS. That's like one of the main frameworks of her like how she does her streams. But you know. Also, hey, Palm, welcome in today. Let me get to a new track. Hold on one sec. There we go. But yeah, Palm, I hope you're doing well. And you already yeah. I mean, listen, Palm. I mean, okay. You know, it's not like I go into your streams and I do something. And yeah, it's not like I go stabby on something. You know, you know, it is, but it's, I got no words. But I hope, apart from, hope you're doing well, Palm. But Uppies, no, I'm sorry, Palm. Uppies is not a welcome gesture in this household, even though everybody here violates it. But you know, I just cannot accept it. It's in my nature not to accept this because I have to not accept out of principle. It's strictly out of principle. You know? Also, let me give you a quick shout out. So, he's just a tsundere for Ubby. I am not tsundere. Also, hit exclamation mark play if you guys want to join. I am a lot of things. I'm not. I'm not tsundere. You can't tell me I'm tsundere. I cannot. I will not accept that. Also, Odin, thank you for gifting tier 1 sub to Palm. Thank you so much. Also, what'd you say earlier? Big Cat, Henya calls her friends to hentai, which is insane, but it's also hilarious. I think it's pretty awesome. So, thank you for your sub. Yes, indeed. So now I get these free additional emotes that I don't always show off. That I've been meaning to kind of show. I mean, I guess I kind of show off extensively to an extent, but you know, it'd be what it be. Anyways, but yeah, y'all are fleas. You irritate me sometimes, but with your never-ending grabby hands. But you know, you guys are also gonna probably be around, so it's like, yeah, I might as well be comfortable with it to an extent. As a sub, you get most of the important email. Okay, they don't. He does. Zen. No. You know. Okay. Side note. I actually haven't checked this month's like most used emotes outside of the stream. I would not be surprised if it is the Uppies emote. I'm gonna be very frustratingly annoyed by it, but oh well, it is what it is with that one. Anyways, yeah, let me check this. Where do I look under analytics? I think. No, it's not under analytics. Damn. All right, never mind. Anyways, let's start. Let's just start this. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, and we're off. Damn, Palm already going right out the gates. That's... Damn. Came in, already gives me uppies, and now is trying to get off on the right track. On the right foot, I guess. Does the uppies command actually have a win percentage? I have to actually figure out how to create like a command to show your stats, or show the stats for that. But more often than not, Yarga gets scratched because the original odds was at like 1 in 800. Oh damn! This is a short race. Damn. Okay, Palm, congratulations. You came, you saw, you conquered. But yeah, there's a bit. I don't actually know the win percentage, but there have been some winners. But yeah, 1 in 800 chance is usually the odds, but it's the usual odds. But you guys did technically hit a sub goal, so now the current odds are now at 1 in 500. Which still seems like it's a lot, but it's still, but the odds are definitely much more favored. Trust me on that one. Also, yes, congratulations, Palm. Zen, you got second. Eric third. Odin fourth. Vac fifth. See, you're not always dead or in last. Vac, you just have to persevere. You know. Wacky sixth. Narrow seventh. Parker Fry eighth. Bitcat ninth, and Slayer 10th. Congratulations. On to the next one. Oh yeah, also I probably should keep reminding you to tell you guys, I am part of the Marvel's on Stream Creator Club, so if you ever find, yeah, and as always, you guys are never obligated to do this, obviously, but if you ever find yourself wanting to buy anything on at the in-game store or whatever, you put, like at checkout, just please use code Shinsa at the checkout. If you're never obligated to, you're not required to, but if you ever want to, yeah, you know what it is. So, Also, as I kind of figured out, you're not really getting a discount if you do I know that's more or less kind of revealed this. You're not really getting a discount if you use the code, but it does let you're more or less kind of tipping the creator if you want, but you're not obligated to. So you're a Marvel partner, so okay. To be fair, the requirements to becoming a Marvel partner is ridiculously easy. It's ridiculous. Like, which code is code Shinsta? Yeah, just code Shinsta. Yeah, I mean, you have to at least have like 250 followers on Twitch, or alternatively 1,000 followers on YouTube. So, alternatively, and obviously they kind of hit both of those requirements. So I was like, yeah, why not? There's probably a good chance I'll probably do the Marvels on a somewhat regular basis. So, it happens. It is what it is with that one. Also, you could get it if you want. Also, some people also kind of said that they didn't necessarily hit the requirements, but they still were able to get it. So it seems like it's pretty easy to get regardless. How'd you get into streaming, if you don't mind explaining? Well, I mean, it depends on what type of explanation you want. If you want like the in lore or the out or behind it, or just like the real reasoning behind it. I mean, I could probably explain both. I don't really stream your YouTube. I mean, I don't think you necessarily. I think maybe if you hit the YouTube requirement, you could still get the. I think the code works regardless of where you're streaming it at. So, I think you're good regardless. But yeah. Okay, so to be fair, I think even in lore, in lore, I never actually fully established. He didn't get a stream; he got forced. In lore, I kind of got forced into it. Wacky, I was hanging out on Wacky streams, and he more or less kind of cursed me, Lord David, and a few other people on that stream to become streamers one day. As far as how I became a long cat, that is an entirely different lore that I still am meaning to like figure out how to kind of implement. Like, I've been kind of meaning to explain how this one day, but I don't actually have a full-on story for it at the moment. That's why I usually say whenever someone raids into me, I'm also a long cat. It's a long story because I actually don't know the story myself behind it. Yeah, he did curse everyone that night. David ended up becoming a streamer, a VTuber, later the next month, and he ended up he debuted pregnant because he dug himself into a ridiculous hole where he hid in. This is a whole entirely different lore that's strictly Lord David coded, but he debuted pregnant because he was compelled by Mega to make. That he had to kind of debut pregnant, which yes, I know. Happy Father's Day, Happy Father's Day. Welcome in, Rebel. Also, let me, if you guys want to join, yeah. So yeah, that's how David became a streamer. As far as me, I didn't get into streaming right away, but sure enough, one day I just kind of. To be fair, as far as like how I got into streaming, Brooke, I kind of popped in as a guest in Bobby Brooks' stream last January. She was like the one that kind of made and rigged the. What is up with these ridiculously fast ass races? Okay, that was I didn't even check the track. I was like, damn. Okay. Well, in your case, Slayer, congratulations, first place. Narosov second, Zen third, Polar fourth, me fifth, Back sixth, Revel seventh, Carnelian eighth, Parker Fry ninth, Palm 10th, Odin 11th, Big Cat 12th, and Yuri, which, by the way, how are you doing, Yuri? Welcome in. Last place. So, ours just dropped my commission. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Big Cat. Yeah. Projects that get canceled or just like postponed, it's never fun to deal with. Jesus, Rebel, you're just coming in revving everything. Um, but yeah, where was I again? So yeah, as far as how I started streaming, to be fair, I think I so last January I popped in, like I made my first technical appearance in Bowie Brooks' stream as a long cat. She was the one that kind of made and like rigged this particular model, as a matter of fact, and she because she wanted me to like hang out with her. I guess she wanted to talk about stuff I did, and like how and we kind of hung out that day, and a few months later, like I was part of a collab with David, Aki, and Brooke, and that was technically an unofficial. That was when I started streaming officially, but I didn't regularly start streaming until like March when I officially returned as the Long Cat. So yeah. Also, I'm sorry if the person that asked. I'm sorry if you're stuck in ad break hell. It happens. If you're talking about like the outer reason, for being honest, I kind of wanted to. I guess part of me really deep down kind of just actually wanted to stream deep down because I don't know. As I was watching everybody I was watching Ellie, I was watching Bo, I was all of them, and I was watching the other members of the community that aren't as well known and but are just like streaming just for the hell of it. I just kind of I don't know. I felt like because they all had a great time regardless if they were like big known streamers or if they were like if they only had like less than a couple views. They were just having a great time. Be it collabs or just like streaming by themselves, and it's like I kind of wanted and I guess part of me deep down really kind of wanted to be a part of that too. So it does seem fun when you're watching people enjoying themselves. Yeah. Gotta go hang out with the family. Just stop. Yeah, no worries, Rebel. You have a good one. But yeah. So so yeah, behind the scenes reasoning, I was hanging out with like Brooke and like a few other people, a few of her mods and like everybody there, and I kind of joke. They were kind of joking when I would make my debut, and I joked that I would joke that I don't know, like maybe March 12th or something because 312, and then Brooke was like, "That's it. You should make your debut on March 12th," and when she first said it, like this was like back in like this was actually back around like December, and I was like, yeah, sure, that's great. But then I guess that idea slowly kind of just crept in more, just a little bit more, like day after day. It also probably didn't help that people from Wacky's camp and like David and like everybody were also teasing along the idea, and I was like, oh, yeah. And sure enough, and then of course when I hung out with Brooke, she made, like I mentioned, she made the model, and I kind of had that. So like I more or less kind of had the stuff I needed to stream. So I was like, I guess we're gonna make it. I guess we're gonna make it a thing, And now here I am. So yeah, and here I am streaming on a somewhat regular basis alongside clipping and everything else. So. March 12th was indeed a perfect day to start, and would have been. I mean, technically, it wasn't like a full-on official debut because I did 2 art collabs before that. I guess those count as pre-debut streams, but still, you're just using V2C with the free cat model. I mean, to be fair, those free cat those models usually are, it's kind of there for those that just kind of want to get into streaming in general, and it's not really the worst thing to go at first because I know some models are going to be like ridiculously expensive. There's obviously like other models that are like relatively there, like on Etsy or other stuff, but Yeah, it can be a bit janky. And to be fair, mine's not really a full on like tracked model either, because like you know, um, sorry, let me replay that. So yeah, mine's not really a full on track model technically either, because this model basically moves by itself, but still, you know. Which I've been meaning to remind myself I have to actually get a. I keep having to remind myself I need a dedicated phone for tracking, and because there are other models that are kind of waiting aside, as unfortunately Cat and Park Fry. I'm sorry, '07. Uh, Bookie who streamed with the Etsy model for almost yeah for a good while too. Although I think hasn't she? Although she recently switched over to like, I assume it's like the model that was given to them as part of the Gamer Subs promotion. I think I could be wrong with that one. Using old Pixel 7 Pro. I think Android phones can be used or somewhat usable nowadays as far as tracking goes, but I don't know. Most people seem to still like using iPhones because it's like because of its. I don't know. Most people still seem to use iPhones though. For some reason, it's on some Flesh streaming. Yeah, I did remember her debuting with the Flesh 2 model. Or not Flesh 2. That's how I know I've been in this life for way too long. But yeah, yeah, I definitely remember doing her IRL stream. So she's back to the Golden Gods recently. Oh, okay. The Golden Gods be back, bonking people in the head with her stick. And she still has the occasional shrimp, as you can kind of tell from the some TV emote. So yeah, so theoretically speaking, it doesn't really. You don't really need much to kind of get into VTubing, I guess. But the whole thing, but just don't expect too much, like in the way of like unique models, like right off the bat, unless you're like rich, unless you like have enough money to already like know what you want like right away. But it's like even then, most VTubers kind of just start off with like, I'm pretty sure like a good chunk of VTubers that initially start with their own pre-made models. So Amazing File is basically free. There's definitely some inexpensive models that are like really. Oh wait, I also realized everyone nearly died except for Yuri the goat. So Yuri, I hope you do well, and I hope you don't perish once again like this whole stream seems to be going lately. But it seems like you are going through it. Also, side note, Yuri, I find myself hard to kind of not talk to you nowadays without seeing this goat avatar. So even when you say, if you ever find yourself saying something ridiculously like off the cuff, it's hilarious in my mind because it's in the form of it's in the form of a technical cute talking goat. So, but I guess that's sort of the same effect with me in this long cat model. I guess that sort of works the same way. So, yeah, don't be like Bo and spend $600 on a tracking phone. Yeah, I nearly forgot he spent $600 on that, and Jesus. Yeah, you don't need a high tech off the cuff phone. Like I think if you just need a phone that has some decent has like a decent camera, like a good camera at the very least. You know. Yeah, $600, and yeah, not really the best investments, you know, or I don't know. I guess the 600 one to Neanders paid off somewhat well, you know, so I don't know. I guess you get what you pay for, I guess. Yeah, I never understood why he felt compelled to buy one brand new, like. again, you could find any old used phone on. You can find any regular used iPhone, so long as it's in good condition on eBay or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's not. You're not gonna need. You're not gonna need. At the very least, you're not gonna need anything. You're not gonna need like a SIM card out of it. So long story didn't pay off until years later. Well, I imagine with the amount of gifts, that would have to assume he paid all that off at the very least. So, that was a long play. Yeah, the $600 saga. Definitely one of the more defining moments of Bo's ever growing illustrious career. Pays off for him content, yeah. Because at the end of the day, content, it's always content. So, yeah. Looking, yeah, yeah. Shrimps is bugs. We're all bug coded deep down. So yeah, so okay, so yeah, he did. So yeah, Bo did ended up talking about his. He ended up telling his mom about the charity donation. It was about. I think it was during his New Year's stream where he basically was streaming. I think for whoever knows how long. I don't know how long, but it was a long ass stream. So yeah, yeah. So $600 to Neanders. Yeah, he did end up telling your average mom. I think his mom took in good stride. Well, yeah, she jokingly said that he would have to pay it back, but I think it's all good. Well, I don't know if he told him while being fembo, but it was the same stream where he showed up in that completely forgot bunny like that fem. I definitely remember him being fembo, but he also was in this whole other model. He's got like a lot of female models. Because I think showcased that one stream. Anyways, let me exclamation mark play if you guys still want to join. So, well, I mean, Bo talked about $600, the 600 thing. Like, I don't know if this was before or after the Vel raid, but it was probably after the Vel raid. But not like at the same stream, but it's like, yeah, definitely talked about it. This whole saga is pretty insane when you think about it. Because for those who don't know, Bo gave $600 to Neanders when he was, and I know most of you probably know, but $600 to Neanders when Neanders was still like didn't even have a VTuber model. Years later, he brings it up as a story. Ato took note of the clip and he showed it to Neanders on stream. Neanders, of course, they both reacted to in kind, and I guess Vettel was also technically there to bring some more additional content during that whole thing. And yeah, that was also the same stream that the Ato stream I think was also the same stream where he basically asked Vettel that he would pay him $600 if he could get Evil Neural to sing "Pregnant Sonic." So all that. Yeah, with the ongoing talk about how popular like the Evil Neural cover "Pregnant Sonic" is, I would probably arguably say that all to start because of the Neander story. So it's definitely the bit that kept. There's definitely the story and the bit that kind of kept on giving. I think even to this day, to this very day, because I know that people are still kind of talking about the Pregnant Sonic thing, and it's a thing. Yeah, it's definitely one of his more defining. Definitely, I would go as far as to say, yeah, Bo definitely was kind of the catalyst for that, for sure. Anyways, I should probably start before I continue to get beyond that. Yeah, so I don't know. I always like when bits like that just happens, like ends up becoming a saga itself, because it makes the current original and like concurrent clips like a lot more memorable in that sense. You know, when it becomes a bit episodic, when it's like an ongoing thing. You know, it's definitely a basis. Like if because if Aethel didn't show that particular $600 clip to Neanders, Vettel probably would not have popped up. And knowing the fact that Vettel was like there during that stream, I don't think Aethel would have prompted to ask for it if you know basically if I think if they didn't show that clip and like to Neanders, that the pregnant Sonic, evil neural singing pregnant Sonic definitely would not have happened. I almost guarantee it. You know, because I think that same stream they never actually Aethel and I think Vettel, Aethel, or at least at the very least Vettel, Aethel, and Neanders. I don't think ever actually interacted directly up until that point, if I recall. So I almost kind of could guarantee that yeah, I think that Evil definitely would not have sung "Pregnant Sonic" that day if that none of that happened. So oops. Sorry. Camera's all over the place. Sorry. I'm just being yeeted out there. But back, you're actually first. All the stars align they all align perfectly. And that's my usual type of bits. Like when there's like a long term payoff for it. Will it take forever? Yeah, in some cases. But you know, it all pays off at the end. And that always makes for a much better moment. No clips of Bo telling your average mom about $600. Here's the fun. Well, I had a lot going on, so I wasn't able to actually get that. Unfortunately, like at least I wasn't able to like make a proper clip out of it. But I did. I did have the VOD of that situation. And I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I do have the VOD. Yeah, I have the VOD for it, but I never actually was able to like make a full-on clip out of it because a lot of stuff kind of happened on my end that day, and I wasn't able to kind of like actually make anything out of it as a result. So, but yeah, he definitely told his mom that day. That's for sure. Anyways, Odin, I think. Wait, Odin, I think you might. Or will be back? No, Odin, congratulations, first place. Max second, Big Cat third, Zen fourth, and where the hell am I? Where the hell am I? There we go. No, we're good. I'm still all the way up there, but we're good. Yeah. There you go. Congratulations, Odin. And to the rest, Kirby, Polar, Yuri, 07 to you guys. Y'all had a good run. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do one more race, and then I unfortunately have to kind of get ready for work. So, yeah, this will definitely be the last one. You guys want to make this count? By all means. Yeah, so they probably had like there was probably a clip on Twitch at some point, but the usual issue is VODs usually don't really last beyond 2 weeks, or if you have if you have Twitch Turbo like 60 days. So I think that's unfortunately gone. I don't know. I haven't really checked. I think Bo has a VODs channel, but I don't know if he actually uploaded that either. I think. Wait, does he have a VODs channel? Probably, but yeah. Needless to say, there was a moment. But yeah, I can definitely confirm he definitely. The future one's usually the last one. Oh, okay. Let me check something real quick. Let me see. Um, sorry, I'm gonna see if I have it actually at the bottom. If I have it, maybe I could show that part at the very least. But I can't make any promises if I still have it on my, because if it's not on my PC, it's probably on one of my external drives. So let me see. Ba, ba, ba. Um. Then try and find a taco clip when she's in her 8-bit form starts to scream. Well, I mean, it'll depend on when. I mean, I could try to find it, but it'll depend on when, how soon that was. If it's like 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, I don't think I'll be able to find it. Unfortunately. Um. Wait. Sorry, I'm still trying to find this real quick. If I can find it. See again the Kieran stream. He has a bot that pulled it. Oh shit! There you go. Um. Ba, 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 ba. All right, so I got a lot of them that kind of range between like, Oh wait, not it wasn't New Year's. It was like the Christmas stream. I forgot. Or was it the Christmas? Wait. Anything for debate at the end of the day. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was New Year's too. I think it was no. I think it was this Christmas stream. I think it was definitely the Christmas stream. He did do a 24-hour stream that day. Which I could kind of see. Maybe that's why he didn't really. And also, not to mention, he was playing a whole lot of copyright music, so I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't able to actually put that on the YouTube VOD's channel. Because you know how YouTube is with copyrights. They go ridiculous on that sometimes. Anyways, but yeah, last call for anyone that still wants to join. This will definitely be the last one. I have to kind of get going. Okay, I think maybe I found something. Last one. Wait. Did I find it? Hold on. That's insane. Sorry, sorry. I was looking at something. Bo was just completely off the cuff that stream. Yeah. So, but hey, man knows content like no other, or he knows how to make something out of it. So, anyways, this will definitely be the last one, despite what Polar's saying otherwise. Because I have to get going. So, sorry. I know I'm repeating. It is what it is. I was kind of curious, maybe because I kept saying one day maybe I should just do a stream where I was gonna say maybe I should just do a stream where I just have like where I just show some of my like rough cuts of like stuff that I was never able to kind of put out. I don't, but the problem is I don't think I have like a lot of that. Like there's a few things where I kind of made initially, and either a like stuff kind of got in the way, or I wasn't able to do it or whatnot. I was curious if maybe I could do a stream out of that, but I also don't think I have enough content to like of it to make it well, like enough content where I could like make showcase it like for hours, you know. Like it would probably be like rough cuts and like in the sense that it wouldn't be like a full on finished clip, but it'd be like some of it would probably be like incomplete and whatnot. But I was thinking about the idea because it's one of those many things where I kept saying I should probably find a way to implement the clipping side of who I am and implement it in stream somehow. But you know, this track might take well. I mean, hey, if it's the last track, it's definitely a good one to go off on. You watching it? Yeah, you and a few other people have kind of brought it up. I have always kind of said I don't know if I can make like I could do it. I just don't know if I would be as talkative during the process because most of the time I'm just probably gonna be focused on it 100%. So I always kind of said at best, if I could make it somewhat entertaining, it would be somewhat decent, and at worst, it probably would be no akin to like an art stream or like a co-working stream where I'm just like focused on head on, you know. So trying to learn editing, it would be so interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would probably. I mean, my editing is kind of mostly kept somewhat minimalistic for the most part. Like a lot of cuts usually kind of limited to like zoom ins and you know sometimes I'll try to create a little surprise splashes edits here and there, but you know I usually would try to keep everything somewhat minimal. So because I know some high quality editors will definitely go all out on the edits, which isn't a bad thing, but for me it's like I always kind of like kept it as is, you know. Like that, nothing takes away to like from the original clip, and it's like you know, you're still getting what you want to an extent. So some are too much. Yes, there are some that can be a bit much, but I think that's like the difference between the high effort and low effort editors. I think so. What do I use for editing? What I use my primary software choice is usually DaVinci Resolve, but I've also kind of worked with Adobe Premiere in the past. I've worked with it, and I don't know much of Sony Vegas Pro, but I know like I did use it like once or twice, but primarily mostly just use DaVinci. That's my usual go-to. DaVinci Resolve, so that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. I don't know. Some people have their tastes on what they like in the clip. Some just would rather have it like get to the point and just like, you know, you're getting what you want from it. Others kind of like seeing like a little more of higher end, higher edits of like stuff you kind of see from some of the official channels, VTuber channels, you know. So yeah, like for example, I know usually like Joker goes full on like high edit because he's more or less paid to make like high edit streams, high edit like clips of stuff that's happened. You know, Crawl I know is Crawl is also someone that's pretty good at like doing higher end stuff on his main channel at least. You know, I yeah. I also back your why are you just chilling out again? Damn. Still use Acid Pro. Vegas is just that would be. Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, I mean Vegas is not too different from Acid. I used to dabble with it like several years back, but I don't know. Nowadays, I more definitely do more. I definitely use more of Resolve, but it's not. I mean, comparison to Premiere, it's not it's not that entirely different. Like at least me figuring out how to use certain things. It seems pretty easy to approach. So Joker's primarily responsible for the shorts. Yeah. So um, but yeah, you know. Oh, and also thank you for the Hydro Kitsune. Also, how are you doing, Kitsune? But yeah, I've been meaning. I don't know. Might be just like self consciousness on my end as far as like editing streams go, but at the same time, it's like in part of like the recurring thing with stuff in general. If I even if I don't think it's entirely perfect, that probably it's one of those things where I probably might leave it to other people to decide that for themselves. So also Zod, you got stuck again, or Zod, you got stuck. Big cat. Yeah, so it's interesting though. Whenever you see other clips of from other people, because yeah, a lot of them do offer their own style of like how they edit and everything, you know. So it's always interesting to see in that regard. And even for me, it's like I always. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a tangent on how on my approach to like editing in general, but I don't know. I'm always like someone that continuously just wants to learn. And if you ever like kind of see my clips like on in like a consecutive like on a daily basis or whenever I put anything out, if you whenever anything you see in general, you could kind of tell to extent that whenever I'm trying something new or trying something slightly different, because it's a recurring thing where I just kind of want to keep figuring out wanting to learn new stuff and figure out how to implement it in the best way possible. So yeah, so but yeah, I guess with editing streams, I could definitely show what how I usually approach things, and you know. Whether or not I'll have the balls to do it, I guess is a whole other situation, but I definitely would be open to it. Sorry, back. Some things annoy me. Why can't I scroll when it's. Yeah. Or scroll. Wait, or is that you're saying scroll? Yeah, scroll. Yeah. Even now, the need to want to learn new stuff has still been like it's still a thing with me. It's just like I still like, you know, even if I want to see what works, see what doesn't when it comes to my stuff. So, like for example, I guess recently, like my latest clips nowadays, just like you notice I'm just like kind of zooming in. Like you can see the zoom ins now. Like there's some zoom ins now. It's not like cut to a zoomed up. If that makes sense. Like you can now see me like the clip physically zooming in instead of just like you know, cutting into a already zoomed out scene. You know. So it's like stuff like that where I'm just kind of experimenting with it. Yeah, dynamic zooms. I don't know if it's particular for everybody. I did took note of it, and I was like, maybe I could give it a try and see how it goes. You know. Also, Bosnian Psychopath, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome in indeed. Yeah. Okay. So you weren't wrong in the sense that this is a very ridiculously long ass map. we aren't even close to like halfway done. That's insane. Yeah, needless to say, I think this will definitely be the last race. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, 10 minutes. Okay, well, next time I definitely need to remind myself to double check these maps before I start them. So the world record's 12 minutes, which makes this which makes this more insane. On top of that, and meanwhile, back you're like all the way in the beginning. Yeah, you're still stuck. Well, yeah, this would probably be a great map to end it on. So. Do 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 do. Oh, Odin. So far, so good. You gonna see the concert tonight? From what? Well, I mean, if it's that's if they're planning to do it tonight. Wolf, aka Wolf with Sword. He mentioned earlier that the concert got delayed to next week now. Like it's gonna be a full-on performance instead of just like part two. So there's a chance it may actually be for next week. I'll double check. I'll have to double check with that again, but yeah, I kind of heard it got delayed to the next week. Niana's concert for those that don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I kind of mentioned like earlier in the stream, but yeah, it was just like a whole lot of tech issues and problems, and created like a whole. It sounded like it was a whole mess on top like of everything that happened. So she did make a long tweet. Okay, so yeah, the concert's gonna be next next week then. So. And I guess it's a shame, but much rather have they work on it for like another week and then like have like a much better, well prepared situation. The resulting stuff is hard to imagine, yes, but again, it's really insane as it is. Like it's 40 free. I assume it's 40 different VTubers from multiple like well-known VTubers like from all around the sphere, and it's like, yeah, trying to organize all that cannot be. I can't imagine that being fun to organize at all. Also, Odin, congratulations, 35 VTubers specifically. Yes. A lot of noble names, obviously. We saw a little bit of those names: Neanders, Bao, Lucy. I mean, you even had Fillion occasionally making like narrative announcements, although I think that might have been pre-recorded. The concerts I know for sure, but I think they still have like the VTubers in question, like their presence, most of them at least. So, I had this luck in Wacky Otakus. Well, hey, that's the luck of the marble. You never know which way it'll spin, or you never know which way it'll roll. But sometimes it'll go roll exactly the way you want it to roll. You guys, hurry up! Flames are coming through. I perished, and Nero perished as well. Anyways, congratulations, Zodin. Congratulations indeed. Yeah, your luck you shined through at the end. Ginger, you got second. Big Cat third. Yuri 4. Spike Kirby 5th. Zod 6. And the rest, including myself, 07. Oh, jeez. One more. Okay. Maybe we could do one more. Maybe we could do one more, because I'm still not really done full on yapping. Okay, fine. You guys win. One more. One more. Let's just hope this is not another 10-minute banger. And that already looks like wait, I gotta see this. Well, at the very least, I guess this does not look like it's 10 minutes. All right, fine. We could do this one. Anyways, sad that she's done after this. Hope she goes into the production. I don't actually know what Niana is planning on doing post graduation. I didn't know if all this was because she was planning to join like an agency, or if it was this, or if she is indeed like moving on. Because I'm not actually sure what the situation was with Niana. Um, because it definitely seemed like she had like a lot going on, and like she had like still seemed like it didn't seem like she wasn't really going to like she wasn't like slowing down or just like was planning to leave. It did seem sudden. Yeah. But I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, yeah, whatever it is, I wish her. Yeah, indeed. No matter what happens, and obviously with exclamation mark play indeed. So I think it's just lower caps, Hunter, and also welcome in Hunter. And also, of course, there's a lot of talk of her going corporal, but nothing's ever for certain until they pop up in a completely different identity. But we can only speculate from there. She probably might have gotten a contract, so it's per usual graduations. It's still somewhat bittersweet because it's like it is still like an identity that the most of her fans are familiar with. So, you know, yeah, and obviously because on the topic of graduations, obviously, there's obviously one other graduation that's set to go for this week, and that one. That one in particular, will admit I'm a little more sad about than anything else. Because, yeah, I mean, even though she'll be fine, even because obviously for those who don't know, so this I think is this coming week. Gomi had announced that she was basically going to graduate, and even though I think I know what she's planning to do afterwards, I think, it's one of those situations where it's still pretty sad regardless, because it does seem like someone that was definitely. And what I'm about to say is usually just like purely speculative. Like I can't, nothing's. This is nothing confirmed. Like I'm not saying anything insider. But I don't know. It does seem like she was like trying a lot to keep the Gomi branding like going on, and it doesn't seem like things were kind of so slowly. I don't know. I guess all I'm saying is like it is kind of sad to see it, because it's like I don't know, because for those that don't know, I do always have had a soft spot for Gomi and her streams, and I would go as far as to say that like her set the one I had made my own interpretation of like the raid of like the Vel raid like a year ago, and that was like the second clip I officially made. So, and ever since then, I always wanted to make sure that I had put out a Gomi clip whenever I could, and so to see her just kind of graduate, and just like her moving on to like bigger and better things, it's always sad. It has been sad. I think it's also kind of been like one of those graduations where it's definitely the first graduation that I think had affected me personally, because with other graduations, while they've been sad, it's like I've only heard them generally, like for example, Guru's streams, a lot of people were upset about it, but and like I said, it's always sad to see people graduating in general, but I did not watch as much Goro streams, so I didn't really feel that intense effect. With Gomi, it feels different because it is someone that I usually watch on a regular basis. So it's sad to hear, it's sad to see, and it's like when the graduation stream happens, it's going to be sad. With no better words around it. No other way to describe it. Uh, yeah, I think she just got burned out, and yeah, I guess this goes back to the whole recurring theme about burnout. Like after a while, it's like if you don't give yourself the necessary breaks, if you don't give yourself like the necessary time to, you know, like work on yourself, and like it's going to negatively affect, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. So also, yeah, you mentioned about Annie piece. To be fair, I think Annie. I'm kind of confident. I kind of confident that Annie will probably return. The whole situation with that has been like bad its own right, but I feel like she'll eventually, because when it's not the first time that Annie's taken hiatuses, so I think she'll be all right. She just needs some time to herself, I imagine. So the only thing hit me a hit. Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. Oh, sorry. I should probably start because I have to actually get going before I yap for like another hour. It's all good. Yeah, fucking Clippers indeed. What can you do? I saw a few videos documenting on that, and all I could say is like it definitely sets a broader example of how not to, like at least from the perspective for a Clipper or someone who how not to approach how not to like it definitely sets a broad example how not to behave yourself, because yeah, it's also one of the main reasons why I never want to like base my content on like a ship, because even if Annie and Vettel both said like that shipping is not, they have nothing wrong against the shipping in general, stuff like what was posted is like really, you know, that was like really taking things like a step too far, yeah, I know, like it's the same thing with me too. Like I never want to like, I'm not gonna try to push a narrative that when if the streamer in question definitely is making it clear that that's not the case, you know. Like I would never try to push like anything like shipping Ellie with anything, for example, because Ellie's made clear that, I mean, because Ellie has made, like, for example, like I would never like push a narrative like about her being shipping her with her male friends, because she's made clear that they are friends, and that they never played onto it, and that they never, neither of them really play onto it, and that's, they said that she said that established pretty, like she established that pretty quickly, so you gotta have to respect it, But yeah, the whole situation with that, it's like it definitely reiterates the fact that no matter where your standing is, like it doesn't matter if you have a large subscriber count, or if you're like well known within the community. It's like you still are not, like, as a Clipper, you're definitely not in a position to make demands for any type of content, because at the end of the day, the stuff that you make, the content that I put out, like I add to the best of my degree, but at the end of the day, that's not my content. It's always like that belongs to the streamers. That's always been them, and it's like, and if they're not comfortable in a way that if I put something out and like they in the streamer in question didn't like how I approached it, like they're always more like they're always more than welcome to let me know, and I will always like do what I can to either like remove it or just like re-edit in a way that because at the end of the day, I'm not here to just push any particular like anything. I'm just here to kind of just like put out something that happened on the stream that was funny or interesting, and I just leave it at that. So yeah, it was very interesting to watch that whole drama unfold, because yeah, yeah, you definitely don't want to be like, you definitely don't want to approach it like that. I was nearly tempted to kind of react to the video in question, but I felt like that was like continuing on a drama that more or less kind of already came and went. So also, congratulations, Big Cat. Look on my YouTube all clips. Yeah, so congratulations. Yeah, one way to go off on. So, But yeah, congratulations, Big Cat. Zen got second, Hunter third, Ginger fourth, Polar fifth, Fury sixth, Back seventh, and the rest, myself included, oh 07. So, anyways, I have to rush out. I have to rush out. I have to get real. I have to really get to work real quick. I'm gonna have to see you. I'm gonna have to see you live right now, and I'm gonna try to get you somewhere that you guys might enjoy. So, all right. All right, so okay, so Kuma's on and Maro's on as well. Um, Alex is also on. Uh, oh yeah, oh, if you're talking about the if you're talking about the part where she was talking about going to, yeah, that's kind of why I kind of kept it like because it's still very early. Plans will always change, so nothing's ever certainty. But yeah, Alex is talking to Churchy. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Alex did raid into me a few weeks back, so I think it's probably fair. We could probably send the raid to you. I'll send the raid to you to Alex. So you know what? Let's do that. All right. So, anyways, not sorry. Why am I saying congratulations? But anyways, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for bearing with me venting during the first half of the stream. Sometimes I just need to let anything I had to say out of my mind, and I appreciate you guys sticking around and even playing a couple games of marbles. So yeah, with that said, let's go see Alex, and who I believe is talking to Churchy, like someone suggested. And yeah, also I guess we need a raid message. I keep forgetting to put the raid command, set up a raid command. So you know what? We'll just do Uppy's raid because I can't think of anything else. And yeah, anyways, have a good one. I have to go. I have to get to work, and yeah, let's go. Let's go see our favorite VoidTuber. So yeah, so bye.